President, I was elected state treasurer at the age of 29, 4 years after Joe Biden was elected to the United States Senate. For the last 30 years or so, I've had the honor and in some cases the misfortune of following him as a speaker throughout the state of Delaware and in some cases around the country. It's a tough act to follow, and I wouldn't pretend to be able to do that. Over the years we've seen, the last 200 years that we've had a United States Senate, we've seen any number of great orators come here and to speak in this chamber, and in some cases to mesmerize us, in other cases to inspire us and to change our minds. Joe has done all of those things again today, and he does it perhaps as well as anybody. People speak here today and in the years in the past, and they quote Churchill, we quote John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King. I'm surprised he didn't quote one of his favorite Irish poets today, Seamus Heaney, I think. Quotes him a lot. But the person I've heard Joe quote the most in his life has been none of those folks, not even those Irish poets, but it's been his mom and his dad. I wish I could ask for a show of hands. How many times have you had Joe Biden say to you, "I give you my word as a Biden"? If we could count them all up to here today in this room, we could maybe get $1 for every one of them. We may not be able to pay for the stimulus package, but we could make a pretty good down payment. And many times I've heard him say, he quotes his dad, who used to say, it's a lucky man, I'll paraphrase this, it's a lucky man who gets up in the morning, puts his feet on the ground, and knows that the work he's about to do is of consequence, of substance, is meaningful. A guy doesn't turn out like this just by chance. To become the youngest, not only one of the two youngest United States senators elected in the history of our country, he's also the youngest 7-term United States senator in the history of our country. But his mom and dad, his mom still lives in a property close to Joe and Jill's home. His dad's deceased, but I know that we owe them a huge debt of gratitude, because the values that they instilled in him, the need to serve other people, and really the golden rule. This is a man of deep faith. You wouldn't always know it. He doesn't talk a lot about it, but a person whose life, his values are shaped as much by his family and his faith as anybody I know. But his parents taught him to treat other people the way that he wants to be treated. And that led to, I think, that his great involvement in support of the Civil Rights Act, and it really underlies everything that he does today. All of us have families. All of us love our families. I don't think I know anybody in public life or outside of public life who is more committed, who loves his family any more than Joe. His parents, Jill, his first wife, Neely, who I never had the pleasure of knowing. But I'll tell you, he's got a wonderful wife, Jill, and it's clear that he loves her with all his heart. 3 kids are not kids anymore. They're 30s and 20. Bo is over in Iraq today, serving the National Guard. But just extraordinary bond between a father and a child. It's been said that the greatest gift that a father can give to his children is to love their mother. Well, he doesn't just love their mother, he loves the kids, he loves their grandchildren. This is a loving guy with a family that's as strong as any that I've ever seen. You heard the old saying, I'd rather see a sermon than hear a sermon. When it comes to family values, you see the sermon. You don't just hear it, we see the sermon. In politics, I like to say our families, in politics, I like to say that our friends come and go, but our enemies accumulate. And when you think about the people that Joe has talked about here today, from Eastland to Jesse Helms to Senator Thurmond, he didn't mention Phil Gramm, but people you'd never imagine that the guy who has his conviction, his philosophy, his commitment to civil rights and other causes, you never imagine that he would become the friend, the confidant, and not so much for them to change him, but for him to change them. And in effect, to change, I think, this country. Joe, you've been Joe, you have been the glue, part of the glue that holds this place together. You have been part of the glue that holds this place together. And as we say goodbye to a lot of good men in the last several weeks, it's with a real sort of sense of not of bitterness, not of sweetness, but maybe bittersweet, that we say goodbye to you today. The 8 years that I've been here, I know that there have been a lot of times when we've sought to try to make sure that the vice president didn't come in and cast a tie-breaking vote. And my guess is, in the time that you serve for vice president, 4 years or 8 years or however it's going to be, I hope it's 8, well, my guess is there are going to be times we're going to orchestrate the votes, so you have to be here. And I don't know that we'll be able to do it in a way that will allow you to come to the floor and give another speech like you've just given. Maybe we can figure that out. But just as a friend, as we say goodbye and you move on to this next assignment of life, and God bless our president-elect. He's made a terrific choice, not just for Delaware, hugely happy and excited, but I think for our country and I think for the world. But I just want to say for the last 8 years, thank you for being my friend, my confidant, my counselor. Thank you for being my advisor. Thank you for asking for my advice from time to time and listening to my advice. Your staff that's gathered here today and your family that's up in the balcony, thank you to the family for sharing with all of us a wonderful human being and for nurturing him and bringing him along, and the staff that's provided such terrific support, almost like an extension of my own staff. We love your family and we love your staff, and we're going to miss you. Thank you for always having my back and for looking out for me and for making possible an extraordinary experience as a junior senator for the last 8 years. And I understand your resignation becomes effective as at 5 p.m. today. So now as I look at this clock up here, I know that for the next 5 hours, 49 minutes, I get to be a junior senator. And then after that, I move up in the pecking order. But I will always be your junior senator and your colleague, and I hope your friend. God bless you and all that lies ahead. And thank you for all that you've done for us and for me especially. God bless you.
Mr. President, thank you very much. Delaware. You've been one of my closest friends and confidants, and you continue to be, and I appreciate your sentiment.